Good morning, folks. My fellow YouTubers, thank you for joining me today at Tarot by Izzy. Your company is so much really appreciated. My name is Izzy and I am performing this interpretation of the tarot reading using the AKASHIC, if I could pronounce it, tarot. And today we're going to look at how Amber Heard's feeling, how we got where we are. A wee bit digging deeper before we get into the court case at the Fairfax County Court, where I believe that Amber might be taking, or we're expecting Amber Heard to be giving evidence. So, can I please remind my viewers that you check out the description. Excuse me, my hay fever is really playing up. Sticky eyes and a bit of a cough, so I apologise for that. So, as I said, please read the description. These tarot card interpretations are for entertainment purposes only. And the reason I'm focusing on the trial just now, just that everyone seems to be talking about the trial. So that is why we're doing these little readings here. So it's for entertainment purposes only. I'm not taking anybody's side. All I am doing is looking at what the cards show me and interpreting that. What I say today may change by tomorrow. It depends on all different types of influences and individuals' actions as well. Speaking of which, I know I have mentioned in the past I've had a bit of a giggle at some of the witness testimony, but I am mindful that some people might be triggered by the allegations that have been made throughout the trial so far. And if you are one of those people, I would urge you to contact a medically or otherwise qualified people to help you through any current difficulties that you're experiencing. Don't get a self-diagnosis over the internet. Seek qualified help. I'd urge you to do that. So looking at this, so we've had quite a bit from Amber's perspective, and I did a reading yesterday in relation to Johnny Depp's perspective, how he's going to see the week going ahead. But I wanted to have a sort of deeper dive into Amber, and I was mindful. I came across this quote because I think it is quite relevant in Amber Heard's situation, and the quote is, "Everyone is a moon and has a dark side which he never shows to anybody." And this is Mark Twain. I suppose nowadays we would say they, she, all never show anybody. So if we bring that more up to date, but the points are there. So we know that Amber, her star sign is in Taurus, and we can see at the time of her birth, it was just about a total lunar eclipse. I think it's the 24th, 25th, around about the time of her birth. So at that point, the sun was closely aligned with the karmic point of the North Node. So technically, this point of the ecliptic path of the moon was out of sign conjunction in Aries, while the Sun and Venus and the Black Moon Lilith was in Taurus. So there's a lot of energies going on around the time when Amber was born, and are those influences almost having a karmic shift to where we are just now? Because we're certainly seeing things unfold. So it would be interesting to see, looking at her birth sign and how the planets were aligned at that time, if anything happened in her formative younger years. I'd say probably before the age of 5. I'm asking that as a question, but that's the question I'm asking myself. Is there something that has shaped Amber Heard in relation to her early life and how that's impacted on her just now? That would be interesting to learn. Right now, we know we're moving out of the new moon and we're moving into the waxing crescent phase of the moon, and that waxing crescent phase on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday is in Gemini, and on Thursday it moves into Amber Heard's sun sign of Taurus. And as I said just previously there, we're expecting to see Amber take the stand. You know, when when the waxing crescent or moon is in Gemini, it can indicate a period of carelessness, and it can be the time when it's not to make the best or make decisions. So, but it can always be a period of humour, laughter, and we have had some laughter. So, I would say from Amber's perspective, I'd be looking at, when the waxing moon is in Gemini, just to be mindful, not to be careless, be diligent, and not to come across as being idle, being responsible for any decisions. So I'd be mindful of that. And I'm also mindful that what Amber is looking to do is to sort of knock down the allegations that about her personality traits, about being a procrastinator. A bit like what I'm doing just now, procrastinating. Obsessive behaviours, possessiveness, allegedly. So it'll be interesting to see how the waxing moon in Gemini influences Amber Heard's testimony, and that of her other witnesses as well, how they come across, what their non-verbal language is going to look like. So as I say, it's going to be interesting. And again, is she going to display the traits of being a Taurus, stubborn, and that one of the signs is you're right and always will be right. So as I say, we're going to use the Akashic Tarot, the same ones we used for Johnny Depp yesterday. And as I say, these readings are for entertainment purposes only. We've had a wee bit of background there in relation to the moon. We know where that's going. We know what happened. There's a lot of excitement in the planets when Amber was born. And we're going to do the foundations like we did yesterday. And from what I can recall, we didn't get it all in. So this is the foundation. Why are we where we are? Why is Amber? What's the foundation? The highlights. What do we expect to see? And as remember yesterday, number 6. This is the most important card. And then what is the outcome going to be? So, without further ado, and we might do a little Moonology card since we referenced the influences of the moon just now, because I do think, in fact, I think the whole world's going to be shaken up, not just by what's happening in Fairfax, Virginia, but for YouTube purposes, I won't discuss the other things that are going through my mind in relation to how the planets are aligning. just now. So let's go. This is the foundation. How did we get to where we are? And the first card we have there is the one of keys, the architect. So I don't know if you can see that, the architect. You know, this is like the not too distant past. It's relatively recent, the last couple of years. So we're looking at the architect, the foundation of why Amber is where she is, how she came to be. And basically, she came to be, she was a builder or is a builder. It can be a man or a woman, and they are directing things. They're creating this project, and looking to step into a position of power. So it was as if Amber Heard was in a position she was directing or does direct. It's a Taurian, again, someone who's a Taurus is usually in a power of authority. They like to be an authority figure. So she's been directing other people in relation to her goals. She wanted to take charge. She's probably directing the legal team as well. If you look at that, we've got the scrolls. Yeah, we'll have the scrolls on the table. That could be the legal documents. So I think Amber is very much in charge of the foundation of the court case, or the testimonies or the witnesses of her case at the county court in Fairfax, Virginia. And then we'll have the second card, and this is the foundation. This is where we are just now. Up in the air, and we have, the balloon, the two people looking at the balloon that's going up into the air, and they're looking on it, and then what is it they're letting go? What is being let go? What have as I say, ordinarily they're looking at things that I've let go and feeling almost a desire to find out how it's going to turn out. But the contents in the balloon, they can't see what's in there, what's been removed from this situation just now. So whatever was getting carried away has sort of been brought back. I think my interpretation would be that this is Amber and Johnny in the recent past. Whatever decision they were taking was in this basket. It shouldn't have been revealed. The contents of this basket shouldn't have been revealed, and it should have been moving away. It's like the old therapy days. If you have a really angry one about someone you visualised blowing up a balloon and putting all your negative energy into that balloon and then just letting it go. And this was the arrangements to let it go. However, it's been brought back. It is now being brought back, and we're seeing more of the influences as well. And the things that were in the basket that the public in general didn't see is now being revealed. It's going to be revealed in front of the court, and Amber is going to have to take charge of the revelations, how it impacts on her, and provide her interpretation of the situation, of the agreements that had been agreed upon to go away. It was mutual. It's been brought back, and explain why the things that had been agreed have been revealed, and why her involvement in the situation. So that's another reason why she's there. So what her and Johnny had agreed between them to let go has came back. And then we have the sands of time as the next card. So we've got her taking control of the situation just now in the lead up in discussions with the lawyers, the legal team. And I think she is very much directing her defence. And it's in relation to the agreements that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard had in the past that was meant to be maintained. I don't, is it a non-disclosure agreement? I don't know. I don't know the technicals. And please bear in mind, this is entertainment purposes only. My opinion, not to be taken seriously, and will not stand up in a court of law. And there's no point in suing me because I've no money. So anyway, we're on to the sands of time. The sands of time. And as the picture shows here, a man looking is again, it's the scrolls here as well. And then it is, you know, looking at the time that is passing. So it is being mindful of the situation. And does this individual feel under pressure? I see the 3 candles there, the open documents. Is it in relation to the fact that there is concern that more of these scrolls are going to be or opened, and we'll have another 3 weeks of the trial. And I would say that time is of the essence in relation to this project. And it's like Amber's like, she can't wait until this is over with. This is painful what she's going through, and we have a man here with another scroll in his hand, looking at the sands of time and feeling, you know, that this under a lot of pressure, time pressure as well, and they're going to have to work really hard against the time that they're in just now. And then we have the Akashic Library in the reverse as well. I don't know if you can see that. I'll pop that there so you can see it. The Akashic Library in the reverse. Libraries are usually wisdom, research, learning, you're being thoughtful. In the uprights, it is being thoughtful, wisdom, learning, and again, it's very much be in relation to the ongoing situation at the Fairfax County just now. And you're going into this library to be learned, to learn more, and actually to be more self-aware. How is this going to affect you? However, as I said, we have this in the reverse, and this was saying that Amber Heard felt she was in a more further downward spiral. I think, and I don't quote me on this, they tried to stop or prevent this case being heard, and they had it was rejected, and that is why we have this defamation case ongoing. So that is the reason why Amber Heard's foundation, she is where she is, and she probably maybe didn't listen to the advice that had been given to her, because I do think that she is the architect of the situation, and that is why she is where she is. This is the foundation. So let's have a wee look. What can we see coming out? What's the highlights of the week coming? And we have the Ark of the Covenant in the reverse. So we're getting a lot of red coming out just now. We'll reflect on that later. So The Ark of the Covenant is very much, well, usually that's where the wisdom is, and it was protected with the Ark of the Covenant. You know, it's successfully working together with other people as well. Because we've got the group there, there's or two people there, they're talking to each other, they're protecting the secrets, they're protecting the Ark of the Covenant there. And it can be a lawyer's, a legal card as well, it can indicate the legal process. So this is very much on point, I would say, just now. However, as I say, this actually came out in the reverse. And what it would suggest is if there are legal dealings at issue, the card reverse could show a broken contract or a failed legal transfer. And again, we're back to the architect, we're back to the bond, the secrets, the agreements that were meant to have been kept. And it's urging to be very, very cautious as well. So, are there going to be further revelations of a breach of contract? That's going to be interesting to see. And it can also indicate you broke a contract with your higher self, was, you know, it's quite a spiritual card. And yeah, I think it's going to be, if you're losing your ability to be in contact with your higher self, it can be quite an emotional card as well, because you're being directed by your fears and emotions instead of what's in the best of you. Personally, the way I'm reading this so far, I would not like to be Amber Heard's head just now. I think she's under a lot of pressure emotionally. But I wouldn't like to be in a legal team's situation either, because I think they are exhausted so far. And then we have the waterfall. The sixth card is usually the most important card in relation to this, and it's the six of forces. And forces are life forces. We're seeing the water there, we're seeing the greenery, and we are seeing water can again be in relation to your personal situation, your life force. So I think this is how my interpretation would be. This is how Amber Heard wants to be viewed. She wants to be viewed as she is the centre of the situation. She's the centre of the universe, and that she's got incredible power, that she's powerful, that everyone looks to her, that her life force just roars ahead. It's almost like this emotional outpouring, and maybe there will be an emotional outpouring. It might border on from keeping that contained, that force of water, to an actual, we will visually see an outpouring of that from Amber. So as I say, it could be that we see that there. That'll be interesting. And then we have the divine physician in the, it was in the reverse, I'm just putting it there so you can see that as well. The divine physician here. And usually in the upright it would be to do with healing. When you think about Jesus, he was called the divine physician, healing water, you know, and healing people around him. So in the upright it is, you know, well, as physician heal thyself as well and the people around them. But as I say, this came out in the reverse for Amber in the forthcoming week. And again, it goes to the emotions. It's certainly coming on to there as well. It's following through, and she has to regain sight of her own self-care. She has to look. She's got herself sidetracked, and again we go back to that's why she's in the situation where she is. She got herself sidetracked when she wrote the Washington Post op-ed, which Johnny Depp says allegedly defames him and why she is where she is. So she has to get herself and realise that the words that she used, those words are very powerful as well. They can be for healing, but they can also be very detrimental. So you can be good to someone with the way you speak and positive, but if you're giving them negative feedback in all these situations, and again, I think this is the legal team as well. I think they are under immense pressure. So let's see what this outcome is. I'm sorry it's a bit. And we had this yesterday, actually, in Johnny Depp's, and the outcome was the garden and the children playing in the garden. I don't know if there's a worry about children in the garden, but in the upright, it's it's a happy scene. Little girls out there with their magnifying glass, looking at the butterfly, looking at the you've got the flowers there, you've got the roses, you've got the greenery, and it's a pretty positive way. You've got the children playing, so this could either be in relation to the outcome for Amber Heard personally, how it's going to impact on her and her family, or the way I read it yesterday was, and it's above the waterfall as well, and it's been out of touch with the higher self, and is needing self-help, is childish, emotional outburst behaviour. Is it going to be medically diagnosed professionally? Is she going to need help in relation to that? So, and as I say, we've got the moon in Gemini as well. For Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we've got the waxing crescent, and Gemini is all to do with communication. So everything she and her witnesses and the lawyers on both sides say are going to be scrutinised, and it's not a time for being. I don't mean lazy, careless. Careless. That's the word I'm looking for. It is not a time to be careless just now. At the same time, the waxing crescent moon goes into Taurus, I think, on Thursday, which is her sun sign. And again, Taurus can be the sign. The negative trait can be I'm right and everyone else is wrong. So these are all allegedlys. And the moon sign we've got here, and in the upright it is saying, don't let your past hold you back. So it's in the reverse, and I would suggest that that's exactly what has happened. The situation in the past, she was the architect of the situation, revealed or allegedly revealed things that should not have been disclosed. They're up against it in the court case in the sands of time. The case was previously rejected, and the legal team, working with the legal team, but hasn't been listening or learning to the legal team. The Ark of the Covenant as well. It's legal matters, or can be legal matters, and not listening to what's getting said. And all of that can have a huge impact on you as well. And I'm just trying to think what else we could see. We saw the waterfall, the life force, the outpouring, a great outpouring. How that's going to be reported upon is going to be interesting. I said we saw a bit of a red energy, so that can be quite passionate. You know, a passionate energy that's coming across there as well. So it's going to be a very interesting week ahead, I would suggest. And I hope you've enjoyed the reading we've done today, or I have done for you today. And can I please ask that you join me again, that you like the video, that you share and leave comments. I really love your comments, I really do appreciate it. And thank you again, once again, from Tarot by Izzy here in Central Scotland. Take care, bye.